Hey everybody, Laura Goricki, G-Force Athletics. Once you've completed your workout session, you're not complete until you've stretched your body. It's a great idea to stretch all of your muscles once you're done with your session to alleviate some of that immediate soreness that you may feel post-workout, and also to help prevent that delayed onset muscle soreness. If you've had a pretty hard session, you may feel sore a day or two later. So stretching those muscles, cooling them down, will help alleviate or help prevent some of that delayed soreness you may feel in a couple of days, and get you ready for your next session, because you don't want to be really sore for a couple of days and then get discouraged and not want to work out. So make sure that stretching and warming up, warming up before your workout and then stretching post-workout is always part of your routine. I'm going to suggest a few activities from head to toe. Well, not really the head, I guess from shoulder to toe. Just to get, just a few stretch activities. There are a ton out there, but these are just a few suggestions. Hold each stretch for 20 to 30 seconds, and you want to hold just to the point of just before you feel it pull. You don't want to pull a muscle, you just want to gently stretch it, just to relax it and lengthen it. So we'll start with shoulders, so we'll start with our upper body. So let's just take your right arm, cross it over, and press it back. Place your left hand just behind your elbow or a little bit above, and then just press the arm back. And again, you want to hold this for about 20 to 30 seconds. I have a quiet timer going off in the background, but if I'm talking, I'm not going to be able to hear it. So these may not be timed appropriately. But again, these are just some suggestions. So, and while you're doing this shoulder stretch here, make sure you're not kind of like rotating your body around, because then you're not really stretching your shoulders. So keep your hips faced forward while you're stretching your upper body, so you're really stretching those muscles. Alright, so let's just switch to the left arm, so it crosses over your chest. Hand is right, just above your elbow, and then just press back gently. So you should feel this in this shoulder area and a little bit in your upper back. And again, avoid rotating around, because you're not stretching that area. You're through working out. This is your relaxed part. This is the time when you get to drink your water and wipe the sweat off your forehead and think about what you're going to do the rest of the day. In addition to stretching, it's also a good idea to keep your body moving. So if you've had a hard workout and you have a desk job, let's go ahead and stretch those triceps. Try not to sit at your desk all day. Try to get up about 2 to 3 minutes every hour and walk around. Otherwise, your muscles will become stiff. So I'm just holding my head around my arm right beside my head, letting my upper arm relax while I push my elbow back to stretch my tricep. Right, and let's switch to the other side. So again, my arm's just kind of dangling there. My hand is just kind of dangling. I'm taking my other hand, gently pressing my elbow back, so I can feel a gentle stretch in my triceps. And you notice my hips are facing forward. I'm not turning around. I'm demoing what not to do as well. So a static stretch is isolated. You want to isolate the muscles that you're stretching. You don't want to move around. You don't want to stretch and bounce. That's not a very good idea. Some people will do that. Now let's go for those biceps. So just lengthen your arm, and with your left hand, pull those right fingers back, and you'll feel a stretch all the way down the front of your arm. But again, sometimes if you may see someone stretching, moving their arms around, and that's not really what you want to do. The idea behind stretching is to lengthen and relax the muscles that you've been working out. Right, let's switch sides. Do the bicep there. And just hold. And again, you don't want to feel a pulling sensation in your muscle. You just want to feel a gentle stretch. Next, we'll do a couple of core stretches, and then we'll stretch the lower body. And if you've done a core workout, you'll want to do a longer stretch in your abdomen. But for now, I'm just going to demonstrate just a couple. So you just want to reach up. And again, all these stretches are standing. So So if you're going to lie on a mat and do stretches, make sure your heart rate is down before you do. You don't want your head to be below your heart. You may feel faint if you do. So that's why all of these stretchers are going to be standing. So you're just reaching up, stretching your abs. And now just lean to the right. And you want to stretch your obliques. And if you've done a lot of back work today, then lean forward just a little bit, and that'll stretch those lats right here in the lower part of your back. So oblique and back. So that's 2 stretches in one. So if you hold that a little bit longer, then you can go into that lat stretch. Alright, I'll switch to the other side. So again, here's your oblique. So that's just kind of leaning to the side. Hips are facing forward. If you want to stretch that back, then just diagonally reach over and across. Stretch that arm out, and that's going to stretch your back a little bit more. So you can do one or the other, or you can do both, depending on where you really need to be stretched today. Okay, so now we're going to stretch our legs. You may want to grab I've got a stool, small stool, higher stool. If you've got a bench, if you're outside at a park, find a park bench, a picnic bench. If you have a chair, table, this may be a little too short. This may be a little too tall. Depends on your height. I like to use, here's a promo here, Liebert Equalizer bars. They're perfect for stretching. But I'll demonstrate. We're just going to do a few stretches, and I'll just demonstrate. I'll use all 3 here so you kind of get an idea. First thing you want to do, stretch out those hamstrings. So, again, I'm going to use a bar here just because I'm tall, so I need something tall. So you just want to place your foot so where it's like a 90-degree angle with your hip, and then lean forward and reach. Your hamstrings are stretching. Make sure you don't pull. Your hamstrings can be a very strong part of your leg, but they're also very tender. And if you pull a hamstring or pop a hamstring, you're going to know it, and you're going to be suffering for a while. So be careful with your hamstring stretches. Be careful when you're doing hamstring work as well. It's a very sensitive muscle. Alright, now let's just switch. So again, try to have your leg at an angle where it's the same height as your hip. So you get a really good stretch right there in the back of your thigh, your hamstring. So hold that. Next we'll do glutes. I'll demonstrate the glute stretch using the stool, because you'll want something a little bit higher if you're tall. Just take your knee, bend it, and then just that foot that's on the floor, bend that knee some, and you'll feel a good stretch in your glute and your outer thigh. And if you'll stretch a little bit more, just lean forward. Oh, that feels really good. If you're a runner, these are great stretches for post-running. Really help lengthen the IT band area too. Alright, let's switch sides. So I'm a little bit tighter on this side, so if you have a side that's tighter than the other, be careful. Make sure you don't stretch to the point of pulling. Lean forward some. You should feel it in your butt, and then your IT band area, a little bit in your hamstring. That. Next we'll do hip flexors. Your hip flexor muscles are your quads and your psoas muscles. So I'll show you on this little stool you can get a good stretch. So just place your right foot back. If you need to hold on to something, grab a chair or something to hold on to. And just lower your body until you feel a stretch in this quad of the elevated foot. And then tilt your pelvis forward, or actually you're tilting it backward, but it looks like it's forward. That way you're stretching your psoas as well as your quads. Sorry about that. switch. So place your left foot on whatever device you've chosen to use as a stretching device. And then again, just kind of bend down some, bend those knees, tilt that pelvis. So you're stretching the quads and the leg that the foot is elevated, and also stretching your psoas. This is a really good stretch for anybody, especially someone who has a job where you're sitting at a desk all day, or maybe you drive a lot. I would suggest this stretch throughout the day. Those hip flexors can get really, really tight from excessive sitting. All right. Oh, that felt good. One final stretch I would suggest. Just find something. I'll just use the equalizer bar. Just find something to grab a hold of. You want to separate your hands from your feet. So just reach away. So get your butt back. So you're kind of sticking your butt out and reaching your hands away from your body. So this stretches your back, your shoulders, your butt, your hamstrings. And if you have something that's like this that you can actually push away, like a chair, if you have a chair that you're using, you just use the back of the chair. Push that away. You really get a good deep stretch. Get that butt away from your hands. So just really stretch your body. That's a good way to end a stretch. And then when you're done with that, just come up, round those shoulders and back. Just going to give it a last little bit of a relief. And then slowly come up. And you're done. So hopefully you had a great dynamic warm-up and then a really good workout session, an awesome workout session. Hopefully every workout session is good. And then you want to finish with stretching. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.